Get that on your, perfect.
Good evening. I didn't realize there were Republicans up here, honestly. I'm just happy, I'm happy to see it. Thank you for having me tonight. It's literally a very big honor for me to be up here speaking in front of you. Thank you for the invite. My name is Jonathan Post. I'm running for House District 46. First off, I'm a husband. Second, I'm a father to two beautiful girls. One is, if you didn't think that Republicans existed here, there are not any in Hollywood either. So my oldest is in Hollywood right now, going to dance school. My youngest is in high school. She's a freshman. She's in that I don't really like you stage anymore. So if anybody has any parenting advice on teenage daughters, please let me know. I'm a United States Marine Corps veteran. I'm a retired police officer after 23 years of service. Currently, I am a real estate agent and mortgage loan officer. And I'm a graduate at Centennial High School in Pueblo, Colorado. I also hold a public administration degree and also have an MBA, also from Colorado State University. When I retired from law enforcement in 2023, I made a promise to the men and women that I served along that I was going to try and do something to change things. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Senate Bill 217, but that took away qualified immunity from our officers. A lot of officers are very, very scared right now because they've got their careers online and also they're on the hook for $25,000. I promised them that I simply would not walk away from the profession. That was one of the things that I promised them. For more than 2 decades, I watched people dedicate their lives to protecting people that were complete strangers. I watched officers run towards gunfire while everybody else ran away. I watched them miss birthdays, anniversaries, Christmas, family dinners, just because somebody else needed help. And I also watched something else at this same time. I watched morale completely collapse. I watched experienced officers retire early, and I watched young officers wondering if they made the right decision. Not because they were not into it for the right reasons, but being believed that the system would not stand behind them if they made the right decision. And that honestly broke my heart. When I first put on the badge in 2001, policing was about building relationships, protecting your communities, putting violent criminals behind jail, and giving victims a voice. I think we all forgot about the victims, and I think that's one thing that I'm wanting to get back as soon as I get in the State House. Over the next two decades, our criminal justice made some serious changes. Some reforms were necessary. I don't think any officer is above the law. I think that when an officer violates somebody's trust, they should be held accountable, and I'm okay with that. There is not one officer out there that wants to live and work next to a corrupt officer. But accountability is not abandoning the public. They're not the same thing. Over time, I watched policies that, in my view, made it increasingly difficult to keep dangerous offenders off the streets while making good officers hesitant to act over split-second decisions that could cost them everything. The result wasn't just frustration inside law enforcement, but families felt it, business owners felt it, victims felt it, and communities felt it. Crime isn't just a statistic. It's the mother afraid to let their child play outside. It's a senior citizen afraid to answer the front door. And it's a family wondering if their loved one will make it home safely at night. For 23 years, I didn't just experience crime through the headlines and political talking points. I experienced it standing in living rooms whose families got the world turned upside down. I knocked on doors in the middle of the night to tell parents the news no parent should ever have to give or ever have to hear. And I've comforted victims who wondered if anybody in the government still cared about them. Because honestly, all we're hearing about is the poor victim, or I'm sorry, the poor vendors, not the impacts to the victims. I also stood beside officers who carried the weight of impossible decisions, knowing that if they made the wrong one, their lives would be completely turned upside down as well. And those experiences change you. They teach you that public safety is not about politics, it's about the people. It's about the single mother who just simply wants to grow up in a safe neighborhood. It's about the small business owner that put everything on the line and wonders if repeat theft will force them to close their doors. And I know that's happened on 16th Street a lot. It's about every Coloradan who deserves to leave home in the morning and return safely at night. I believe that government has the fundamental responsibility to protect its citizens. Everything else that we have to hope to accomplish, whether it's growing our economy, improving our education, or strengthening our communities, depends on people feeling safe where they live, work, and raise their families. And that is the reason why I'm running. I'm not running because I spent years dreaming about politics. I didn't. I didn't at all. After 3 decades of serving my country and my community, I was actually hoping to slow down and spend some more time with my family. But instead, I found myself attending town halls, writing emails, bugging my legislators, but they stopped listening. They didn't want to hear it anymore. As a matter of fact, my representative right now, my opponent, has not held a town hall in over 2 years. Eventually, friends and family asked me if I was going to run. I thought that was a really bad idea. Quite honestly, I'm a Marine. I curse a lot. I tell people what's on my mind. So I did not think that I would last very long in this profession, but here I am. But then I did remember the promise that I made. I remember the victims that were affected, and I remember the officers that I stood behind, or in front of. I also made a promise to future generations that Colorado can be safer, stronger, and better than where we're headed today. And that promise is why I'm standing before you today. I believe that Colorado deserves leaders who will listen before they legislate, who will represent the will of the people instead of their political agendas, and who are willing to make difficult decisions not because it's politically popular, but because it's the right thing to do. My campaign isn't built on anger. It's built on service, responsibility, and it's built on the hope that together we can restore trust in our institutions, strengthen our communities, and leave Colorado better than we found it. I've worn the uniform, I've carried the responsibility, and I've also lived under the consequences of what's been happening at the Colorado Capitol. So I encourage you to visit my website, postforcolorado.com, for more information. I've got a few other things that I want to bring to the forefront. One is I want to bring the death penalty back. I think that is one, it's a prosecutorial tool for prosecutors. Also, it's never been abused here in Colorado. As a matter of fact, I can't even remember the last time we executed somebody for real. But it is a great tool for us. And it was voted on twice by the people. So I will open it up for any questions at all, or do we have time for that?
What are the demographics of your district?
So I'm in a very rural district, South Pueblo. Actually, half of my district is on fire. It's the Aspen Acres Fire. Beulah, Colorado City, Rye, as far east as Boone and Avondale, and I do have some of the city. Some guy named Jerry messed with the lines around there, but I do have some of the city. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.